So we're recording now, and we are here in Miami with new executive class star
Executive Director of the Star Class,
Barbara Vosbury, and we're at the World Championships. And I guess the first question is, how do you like your new job?
I love my job.
And what exactly does that entail?
Keeping track of the memberships, qualifying entries for the major championships, just basically keeping tabs on everything that's going on with the class. And as soon as I get that all under control, then I'll be working a little bit more closely with the ISAF and the Olympics.
Perfect. You're a Annapolis sailor, Annapolis Star sailor, Chesapeake Bay sailor. And who else is here from the Chesapeake Bay?
Ben Franson and Ian Coleman from Severn Sailing, and Keith Donald and Sean Quinn from Severn Sailing, Henry Filter, who's from Severn Sailing, Will Wagner from the Chesapeake Bay Fleet up at Gibson Island, and not from the Chesapeake Bay, but John McCausland is here from Cooper River. He's part of our district.
Excellent.
With Kevin Murphy, who's from Lake Hopatcong in New Jersey.
All right. It's a major world championships. What's the general mood of the event so far?
I think it's everybody's in a great mood. It's obviously very tense at the top. There's 7 or 10 or so nations trying for 4 spots for the Olympics. There's 4 or 5 nations that are holding their Olympic trials here at this regatta, so it's pretty tense at the top. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Right, of course. How does sailing here in Miami, is it different than sailing on the Chesapeake?
Oh, it's much different. The bay here is probably bigger compared to where we sail directly in Annapolis, but it's more shallow, so chop builds up a little bit faster. It's more influenced by the ocean and those kind of breezes and currents.
Sure.
Than we have.
Does sailing, both here in Miami or at a World Championships, does that add to the skill set of the typical Chesapeake Bay Star sailors?
I would say any sailing in any World Championship would add to the skill set of anybody, anywhere. But the skill set with 100 boats is certainly not something you're going to use on the Chesapeake Bay as often as you would in a smaller fleet.
So
but you can always take a lesson home. There's always a lesson to be learned.
Absolutely, right. Yeah, it's obviously a little bit different challenge starting with 100 some odd boats out there than maybe the typical Chesapeake Bay race might have.
Yes, it is.
It's a World Championships. It's a major event. There's always some kind of a funny story or a screw up or a mistake. How's things gone so far?
As far as I can tell, we haven't had any of them.
No, nobody's gone to jail yet.
Nobody's gone to jail yet. It's pretty low key compared to Bacardi or something like that with those kind of antics. But we still have our characters.
We won't mention any names, but there's a few characters from the Chesapeake who might not be here.
That's true. That's true. There's a definite void at the Tiki Bar.
Yes. What do you predict for the next 3 days? Here we are. We're in the lay day in the middle of the event. We've got 3 more race days. Any predictions?
I have no predictions. Anybody could do this.
Excellent.
I'm very excited that John Mack is tied for first and winning the tiebreaker, but because he's from our district.
Sure.
But I think that a lot of things can happen, and when the drop kicks in after 4, all of those scores are going to change around again. So.
Excellent.
There's a lot of good people. Any one of them could win this.
Absolutely. What do you see as the strength of the Star class?
I think our history is a strength. I think the caliber of the sailors is a huge strength. Our organization is a huge strength. It's been going on since 1922.
Right.
So.
Now, I actually gave you most of these questions beforehand, but I just thought of one. With ISAF potentially going back to the drawing board for 2012, what are the challenges that you face with that personally, and how does the class feel that it's going to handle this?
Wow. Thanks, Jeff. That could also go either way. I think that I shouldn't say that we feel secure in our spot, but we have a lot going for us, and we have the right people that go and lobby for us. Bill Allen does a fabulous job with that, and he keeps the star class on even keel with them, and we have a lot of friends at ISAF.
The star class does so much to guarantee that it is the premier one design keelboat in the world, and I'm sure you're hoping that ISAF recognizes that.
Exactly. We have a lot of heroes, and yes, they've come from the other classes. Not going to discount any of that, but somehow they always end up here, and because the class is always born that kind of a winner.
Yep. Well, thank you very much, and this will be online at floatline.com.
Thanks, Jeff.
See you later.